In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create a due date field in Airtable and then organize and track those dates so you never miss a deadline again. Airtable is one of the most flexible database tools out there, blending the simplicity of a spreadsheet with the power of a relational database. And adding a proper date field is the foundation of any project tracker, content calendar, or task manager. If you find this helpful, please like and subscribe, and let's get started. To begin, you'll want to open the base where you need this due date field. Maybe you're managing a content calendar, tracking client deadlines, or organizing a product launch. Whatever it is, the process is exactly the same. Look at the far right of your column headers, and you'll see a small plus icon, often labeled with a plus sign inside a circle. Go ahead and click that plus icon to add a new column. This is the standard way to insert any new field in Airtable, so it's a good habit to get comfortable with. Once you click that plus icon, a new column will appear, and you'll be prompted to name your field. I recommend something clear and descriptive like due date or deadline, but you can call it whatever makes sense for your workflow. After you type the name, click on the drop-down menu that says Field Type and scroll down until you find Date. Selecting Date tells Airtable to treat everything in this column as a date value, which unlocks all kinds of powerful sorting, filtering, and calendar features. Without this step, Airtable would just treat your dates as plain text, and you wouldn't be able to do any of the smart tracking we're about to cover. Now, before you save, take a look at the options that appear once you select the date field type. You'll see a checkbox labeled Include Time. If your deadlines are just end-of-day or end-of-week targets, you can leave this unchecked. It keeps things simple and prevents unnecessary clutter. However, if you're managing tasks with precise cutoffs, like a 5 p.m. submission or a 9 a.m. meeting, then definitely check that box. Below that, you'll also see a time zone dropdown. This is more important than most people realize. If your team is spread across different time zones, or if you're collaborating with people in other regions, setting the correct time zone ensures that your due dates display consistently for everyone. A common pitfall here is leaving the default time zone when you're actually in a different one. Your dates might shift by a day, which can cause real confusion. Take a moment to verify that your preferred time zone is selected, then click Save. Now that your due date field is created, the real magic begins. You've got the raw data, but to truly organize and track your dates, you need to leverage Airtable's view options. Start by looking at your grid view. This is the default view that looks like a spreadsheet. Click on the header of your new due date column, and you'll see an option to sort. I like to sort by due date in ascending order, so the items that are due soonest appear at the top. This instantly pushes any overdue or impending tasks to the top of your view, giving you a clear visual of what needs your attention first. If you have a large base, this simple sort can save you minutes of scrolling every day. Next, let's talk about filtering. Filters let you narrow down your view to show only the records that meet certain conditions. For example, you can add a filter on your due date column and set it to on or before a specific date, like today or tomorrow. This is incredibly useful for creating a today's tasks view or a this week's deadlines view. I recommend creating multiple filtered views. One for overdue items, one for this week, one for next week, so you can toggle between them depending on what you're focusing on. Airtable lets you save each view with its own name, so you can switch between a priority view and a full project view in a single click. Now, if you want to take your tracking to the next level, conditional formatting is your best friend. This feature allows you to automatically change the background color of a cell based on its value. For instance, you can set a rule that says, if the due date is before today, turn the cell red. To do this, click the Grid Views menu in the top left corner, select Configure, then find the Conditional Formatting tab. Click Add a Condition, choose your due date field, and set the condition to Is Before, and then pick Today. Choose a bold red fill color, and click Save. Now, any date that has passed will automatically turn red, giving you an instant at-a-glance warning. You can also add a second condition for dates that are within the next 3 days, coloring them yellow or orange as a gentle nudge. This visual cue is far more effective than reading through a list manually. Finally, let's switch to the calendar view. If you haven't used it yet, this is one of Airtable's most powerful features for date tracking. Click on the grid dropdown at the top of your base and select Calendar from the list. Airtable will ask you which field to use for the calendar dates. Choose your new due date field. In an instant, all your records will appear as events on a monthly or weekly calendar. This is perfect for seeing the bigger picture. Are you overloaded in 1 week? Are 3 projects all due on the same day? The calendar view makes those patterns obvious. You can even drag and drop records from one day to another to update the due date directly, which is much faster than editing each record manually. So, To recap what you've just accomplished, you created a standard due date field in Airtable, configured it with the right options for your needs, and then learned 4 powerful ways to organize and track those dates: sorting, filtering, conditional formatting, and the calendar view. With this system in place, you'll never lose track of a deadline again, and your projects will run more smoothly because you can see exactly what needs attention and when. If you want to take it further, try adding a status field alongside your due date to mark tasks as complete, in progress, or not started. That way, you can filter out completed items and focus only on what's still open. Thank you so much for watching, and if you found any value in today's video, hitting that like button is a small gesture that makes a huge difference in helping others find our content. We're always looking to grow, so please drop a note in the comments, whether it's a specific part you enjoyed or a suggestion on how we can level up our production. We read every single one, and your feedback directly shapes what we build next. I'll see you in the next video.